Well, good morning, good afternoon, hello, good evening. Welcome to the July 2026 PowerShell Community Call. This is one of those summer edition ones, so it'll be a little bit of a shorter call, but everyone is always welcome to join and discuss the PowerShell project and its development. So we have an agenda posted in the meeting chat. Please feel free to post questions in this chat or in the discussion issue. And please follow the code of conduct. As usual this year, I want to start off with a celebration of the happy 20 years to PowerShell since its formal shipping started. It's been 20 years. It's been great to PowerShell. But I also want to add another note, and this is kind of based from what Andreas was saying in the chat. First of all, happy MVP renewals and MVP first timers that have gotten MVP for PowerShell, Data Center, or whatever your award category was. A lot of folks doing a lot of amazing work. Not everybody has been recognized as an MVP that's doing that amazing work, but we all appreciate it from here at Microsoft. The things that you guys do, it's very helpful and very, very important. On that note, I just happen to have this on my talking agenda before we get started. I also want to celebrate another 20-year milestone today, which is Jeff Hicks has now officially been a PowerShell MVP for 20 years. I want to just thank Jeff for all of the learnings, the work that we've done together. Thanks for being a great mentor and a representative of the MVP community. Jeff is not alone. We have some long-time MVPs. Some are in this call, like Alexander, for instance. Thank you all for your long support on this project. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with our agenda. So our agenda today begins with servicing updates. Servicing updates. My friend Aditya, do you have something you want to talk about with the servicing updates?
Yes, we have servicing updates coming for 7.4, 7.5, and 7.6 shortly. And we'll also be having a 7.7.0 preview coming up with the latest .NET 11 included. So look out for those. And I would like to remind everyone again that November is when 7.4 and 7.5 become end of life. So
yes, and let's say that together, folks. In November, 7.4 and 7.5 become end of life. But my friend Aditya, don't go too far, because I think there's also something kind of special for you to talk about with Sean.
Yes, so we released an update to Platypus last week. It was a couple of bug fixes and from me, and like 7 bug fixes from the community, which is highly appreciated. So please give it a try. If you find any issues in your pipelines or something, let us know. We'll try to get to them.
Yes, I'm super pleased that we got this one out. This fixes all of the structural issues with MAML, so we won't have any of the errors with MAML, like the extra nodes, the things that broke get help, and the invalid information that it was returning before with get help. But I want to point out that the current updatable help is still broken. We have to get this version into our build pipeline, and we have to work with a different engineering team internally here at Microsoft to get it deployed. Once that's deployed, then your updatable help will have good information again, but this fixes the structural problems, so you can begin using it for your own documentation. There's some format things that we want to address in the MAML conversion, but it doesn't affect the accuracy and the technical structure of the MAML files. So super happy to get this out.
Yeah, and a couple of things that, Sean, I think that you said are, you and Aditya pointed out are worth highlighting is, and I just lost my brain, but the important ones is that, first of all, Sean assures me that the technical accuracy is there and that the structure's been fixed. We may have a few more formatting issues, but the two things I think that worth highlighting is what Aditya said about Aditya did some work here, but a lot of the work came from you folks, and it is greatly appreciated. It really, really helped us out a lot. And one of the reasons why this update is now out is because of thanks to you. The second thing I think is worth pointing out here is the point that Sean mentioned, that while Platyps 1.02 is out, we still have to work with a partner team to get it into the build system for the documentation and for help. I don't off the top of my head have a timeline for when that's going to happen, but we'll bring this topic back at the next community call to make sure we button it up. So that's great. Thanks, Sean and Aditya. That was fantastic getting that work out. The next topic that we have for today, and I'll ask Steve to show up for this one, is around the DSC version 3.3 possible GA and when that might be happening.
Yeah, so I'll talk about the time. Before I get to that, I do want to make an announcement that Mikey Lombardi has joined my team as a software engineer focusing on DSC. He still owns the doc content, but now he can actually, quote unquote, legitimately do more of the coding, so which is great. I believe he's not here because he's been having some technical hardware issues, so hopefully they'll get resolved soon. All right, regarding the DSC 3.3 release, we made a ton of progress. I don't have anything to demo today, but the current plan of record is I'm trying to get a 3.3 preview 4 out later today, a 3.2.3 servicing release out also later today. The hope is if it's successful, the 3.3 preview 4 will also be published to packages.microsoft.com for the dev and RPM packages. And then the target is to have a release candidate probably early August and then GA sometime before end of August. So that's our target. And then we'll immediately roll into 3.4.
Exciting. And yes, a huge shot for two things. One, DSC 3.3 is going to ship GA here shortly. And two, for Mikey Lombardi. If you didn't know, and Steve just kind of announced that to you, yes, Mikey is now formally an engineer on our team. So he will be doing the great work that he's been doing now as an official engineer. He still owns the doc set. And so, yes, we're all very, very excited about that. And we congratulate Mikey. It's great. It's great. Well, great. That's DSC. So, Anam, I don't even know. Look, I'll be honest. I don't know what this is, what this leucine indexing is, but can you help us all understand what this means?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I wanted to hop on here and give an update for the leucine search issues for PowerShell Gallery. So to provide some context, if you've searched for a package on the website or you've just gone to the packages page on the PowerShell Gallery website, you may have occasionally seen 0 results returned along with the message that the PowerShell Gallery is currently experiencing intermittent issues. And we've discussed in previous community calls that this stems from leucine indexing, which PowerShell Gallery uses, and some issues with how that scales for the large number of packages that the PowerShell Gallery hosts today. I think as of this morning, we have about like 16,200 or so packages. So I think leucine has kind of seen some issues with that, I would say. So you may have been seeing 0 packages returned intermittently. Well, I have some great news. The team has been working on a fix for that, and we've deployed it out. So with this, users should see packages return when they search on the website. And a few things I want to note: if you don't see the full number of packages, then PowerShell Gallery is going to try to remedy that in a 10 to 15 minute window now. With this, also know that if you publish a package, it may take up to 10 to 15 minutes for it to show up on the gallery. But from what we've seen on our end and with testing, it's often much quicker than that. We on the team are also focusing on other improvements related to this scenario. So hope to kind of provide some updates about that in future community calls. But as the community, if you happen to see any errors about 0 packages being returned or any other issues, please feel free to reach out to us on GitHub. And we also appreciate all the feedback we had been getting about this issue on GitHub. I think it kind of helped us understand the pain point it was and kind of look into and understand how often and stuff it was appearing. Yeah.
Well, that's great. And thank you so much. Folks, a little bit of information around the Microsoft update, the Moo situation. So since the last community call, the Moo updates for 7.4, is it 1.7? And for 7.5, I think it's 8. Those Moo updates have gone out. 6.3, the catalog update is released. All other channels are coming soon. We're being very deliberate about this rollout pace. So that's where we're at the moment. So we'll keep you posted on the progress, but things have improved greatly and you should start seeing those results. So thank you very much. And thank you very much for telling us about it and talking with us about it and that kind of thing. Sean, what do you got for docs updates?
Not a whole lot to talk about. Dropping a link in the chat here, and I'll just share the page. Most of the updates and docs have been focused on the monthly maintenance releases and responding to issues that come in and other feedback channels that we have. So not a whole lot new. I think we talked about this last month. We did spend a lot of time cleaning up the rules documentation for Script Analyzer. There's still more work to be done in that space. But things should be getting better. What we're trying to do is provide more context for all of the rules and link back to supporting documentation to provide more value in that rules documentation. And just again, want to shout out to community contributors. Last month, Ari Hine submitted a big PR to clean up 160 articles. We appreciate contributions like that, as well as the issues when you find problems in the documentation. And when you find problems, if you're willing to submit PRs, even better. So that's my pitch. Back to you, Jason.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, again, thanks for all the contributions. I remember years ago when Sean says, hey, if we do this, people will actually contribute and help us out with the articles. I was like, nah, nobody's going to help you with docs. And I was so wrong, and I'm glad to be wrong. So thank you for all of that. Well, folks, that's pretty much the end of the agenda. A couple of things that I wanted to add was you'll see I was had posted a chat in this chat with Gilbert Sanchez about inboxing stuff. We have nothing to announce right now, but we are looking forward to the announcement, the formal announcement, which we hope we'll be able to do soon. We're working through some things, and then we will enjoy sharing that story and getting down to work with you for that. The other thing that I'd like to bring up, and then we can open up the floor. There was no scheduled demo for this week, so this may be a short summer call. But one of the other things I just wanted to say is really, really, really appreciate the folks that have been awarded their MVPs and so forth. And I was just thinking, if there's an MVP that's really helped you out a lot, this is a great time to reach out to them and thank them and tell them how they were really helpful. But also at the same time, thank you for being involved in this project. And thank you for working with us and helping us get through this. And with that, are there any questions that people would like to chat in or something like that for a couple of minutes? Let's take another 4 minutes or so, or that kind of thing, and I'll just open the floor for a minute. I will edit out this pause in the video. That's pretty good. Okay, well, let's go with this then. We look forward to hearing from you. You know how to get a hold of us, so we'll see you in the next community call. Thank you so much. Have a safe and wonderful summer. See you next time. Cheers.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
There was a hand up.
Oh, is there a hand up? I'll take a hand up.
It disappeared. All right.
Okay, it disappeared.
Well, you can type in the chat.
Cool. See you, everyone.